As a company based in the European Union, we are required to comply with the GDPR. GDPR is the highest standard of data privacy regulation, and the GDPR requirements require significant effort from a legal team to ensure that a company complies. Being a business-to-business company, our legal team faced the problem of meeting the GDPR requirements while ensuring that we had the appropriate level of capture for our customers and suppliers. At the start of this project in April, we began reviewing our need for an external system to capture our records of processing activities, the time it took to capture these records of processing, and how we could create a system that was fit for our business-to-business needs. Our key values for the project were, number one, to reduce the administrative burden on our business units. Number two, ensure the right level of capture required under the GDPR. And three, reduce the cost of maintaining these records of processing activities. We then began designing a solution that would be fit for our business.
Every corporate leader needs to evaluate their processes and their programs to ensure that they are always creating value for every organization. And that applies for the legal department as it does for any other business unit. In the past year, I've challenged my legal operations team to consider our data privacy program and its processes to ensure it's aligned with what our business objectives are, but also our compliance objectives are. In 2018, the entire world was evolving its data privacy practices and reviewing those for the purposes of ensuring GDPR compliance. At that time, there was much dust still in the air to be settled with respect to how enforcement and how the regulation would ultimately apply, especially for nuanced cases. Now that we are in 2024, many years away from the effective date of the GDPR from 2018, I challenged our legal operations team to take a look at how we are running our data privacy compliance program and ensuring that it's actually integrated within the business, is as effective as it could be, but also efficient to a sense of seamless embedding into the business. Not to my surprise, our legal operations team took that challenge on full force and came up with a homegrown solution whereby they integrated individuals within the organization, internal tooling we already had, and adapted our other commercial activity processes, whereby we now have a fantastic tool replacing our external tools that we had used in the past that were not only a bit more expensive than how we're running it now, but also much more than we actually need. I'm quite proud of what they've delivered.
We already had a process in place that was through an external tool that we had adopted. However, Irdeto is a business-to-business company, and therefore our requirements for the process are different from that of a typical customer. Given this, the process that was in place was burdensome, not only due to the sheer volume, but also given the fact due to the data granularity that required to be recorded as per the GDPR. So both the privacy team as well as the business owners often used to spend significant amount of time to ensure that each record is accurately completed. In order to improve the process, the first aspect that we looked into was to go through the previous recordals of the data and identify cases in which the users face some challenges. We also ensured that we spoke to these users and got first-hand information on their pain points. The second aspect that we looked into was to come up with a minimum compliance requirement that reduced our burden to ensure that the data is not as granular, as at the same time it's compliant with the GDPR.
One of our key challenges and wins for Privador was our initial decision not to acquire a system or technology. We took a decision early on to use tools already available to us to create and maintain the records of processing activities. Therefore, we conducted research on tools already available to us. We collaborated with our tech department and external lawyers to understand and agree on the most optimized workflows for our company. Initially, the draft workflow was very lengthy and complicated. However, after multiple sessions with the in-house lawyers, we managed to heavily simplify the questionnaire. As a result, we understood that from the compliance perspective, a simple questionnaire would suffice as a basis for collecting the required information. This was later confirmed by external counsels. Improving the user experience was our priority. Therefore, we prepared an interface people were already familiar with. Our other requirements included a tool that is already integrated with the system or which can be easily integrated. Additionally, we needed a tool which would allow us to easily make modifications to the workflow. This would be helpful if new requirements were to emerge or if other changes are needed based on user feedback. Our other requirements included an option to record responses in a sheet which could be easily moved to a master document. In the end, we came to the conclusion that Microsoft Forms is a good fit for our requirements.
The outcome of the project was that the process was broken into two segments. The first part was a seamless integration into our existing workflow and processes. This was done by making smaller tweaks into our existing contract management system. And the other part was reduced into a 5-minute process, which was also within our existing Microsoft 365 environment. We also ensured that we created select options, drop-downs, email notifications, and autofill wherever necessary so as to ensure quick and better quality of data.
As we set out at the beginning of the project, our key vision for the data privacy solution was to, number one, ensure compliance with our data privacy obligations, and two, reduce the administrative burden on our users. We have managed to achieve both of these metrics and have reduced the number of data fields that need to be captured by 50% and cut our legal technology spend by 50%. In closing, we believe the most successful legal operation teams are those that meet their businesses where they're at. Our ingredients for success included understanding our business, understanding the technology it was comfortable with, and creating a solution that values the input of the different role players. Our legal operation team continues to look for ways in which we can use our technology to optimize our legal processes and systems and improve the way we engage with our business units.